The key felt heavy in your small hand, the click of the lock echoing in a silent house. That was the sound of a Gen X childhood. The generation that was told to vanish until the streetlights flickered on is now being told they're too involved in their kids' lives. And in that contradiction lies the secret to understanding them completely. If you grew up in the 70s or 80s, you remember being a latchkey kid. A 2004 study famously described Gen X as one of the least parented, least nurtured generations in U.S. history. That wasn't an insult. It was a fact. While the number of mothers of young children in the workforce skyrocketed from 37% to nearly 60%, their kids learned a curriculum of radical self. You figured out your own problems because there was no one else to call. Your mom wasn't emailing your teacher about a bad grade, and your dad wasn't mediating your playground drama. His advice? Figure it out. This forged an independence that felt like strength, but was often lined with a quiet, persistent loneliness. Fast forward to today. That lonely kid is now a parent, and a strange pattern has emerged. They've been called stealth fighter parents. They aren't the helicopter parents you hear about, hovering 24/7. Most of the time, they'll hang back, letting their kids navigate their own minor dramas, but the moment a real threat appears, be a bad teacher, a serious struggle, they descend with a focused intensity that shocks everyone. They swore they wouldn't be overbearing. They valued the freedom they had, but the ghost of that empty house has a long shadow. The memory of facing problems alone, of wondering if anyone was truly watching, is a powerful motivator. So they've made a conscious choice to be the parent they wish they'd had. Psychologist Diana Baumrind identified a parenting style she called authoritative. It's not authoritarian, which is all rules and no warmth, and it's not permissive, which is all warmth and no rules. Authoritative parenting is the sweet spot, high on emotional connection, but also firm with boundaries and expectations. It's the I love you and I'm here for you, but you still have to face the consequences of your actions approach. Decades of research show kids raised this way tend to have higher self-esteem, better problem-solving skills, and less anxiety. No one has officially labeled Gen X as authoritative parents, but listen to how they talk. They want to be present without suffocating. They want to set boundaries while staying warm. They want to let their kids struggle, but be there to pick them up. It's a blueprint they're drawing from memory, not from a manual. And they're doing it while being squeezed from all sides. They're the original sandwich generation, caring for aging boomer parents who think they're too soft, while raising Gen Z kids who think they're too strict. They graduated into recessions and watched job security become a myth. They're the last generation to remember a world without the internet, raising the first generation that has never known a world without it. Posting your kids' every move online feels unnatural to them because they remember when your embarrassing moments disappeared instead of living forever on a server. It's no wonder they seem so tired. But that latchkey childhood taught them one final crucial lesson. External validation is worthless. They aren't parenting to win approval from others. They're parenting from an internal compass, calibrated by their own scars. It's why they'll let their teenager make the same mistake twice because they know some lessons only stick through repetition. But it's also why they'll be there at 2 a.m. when it all falls apart, ready to listen without judgment. They remember what it felt like to have no one to call. They're trying to raise kids who feel both secure and independent. Kids who know they have a safety net, but also have the confidence to walk the tightrope alone. It's a messy, complicated process that doesn't fit into a neat little box. But for a generation that was defined by being overlooked, showing up truly, being present, and paying attention is the most radical act of parenting they can imagine. They're not just raising kids, they're healing a generational wound.